Gonna rip How did this happen?
Poor bastard's better off.
Greetings. Honestly, the Southerons are strategically incompetent. The fumes from the volcano must have melted their cortexes or something. When faced with a potential invasion, you prepare your defenses. It's as simple as that. If diplomacy was an effective solution to warmongering, there never would have been a Stormcloak uprising. You remember that maniac we killed earlier? Rumor has it he was involved with some ancient Daedric witchcraft called memory manipulation. The villagers want to discourage others from following suit, and I may or may not have promised to help them again. The ability to wipe certain elements of one's memory and replace them with a fictional past. I know, the practice is pretty obscene to me too. Not very reliable either, as we've witnessed firsthand. They want me to post bulletin boards in each of the main villages, warning against the dangers of such witchcraft. Not a very effective deterrent in my opinion, but I agreed to it, so yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing now. Tell me about it. It seems every time I throw back a few meads, I can't help but commit to these wild and gratuitous pacts. It just means a lot to me. Keeping my word, that is. I've only broken it a handful of times, most of which still haunt me. I'm sorry. I'm just not prepared to talk about it. Trust issues and all that. We have a community service to attend to, remember? Let's focus on that. Whenever you have time. Halfway done. This calls for a mandatory mead break. One more. Almost there. Don't make any sudden movements. These things are unpredictable.
Such
What's the holdup?
ignorance. Memory manipulation is a timeless practice. A
Is that
gift
so?
from our ancestors.
Let's see here.
You only fear it because you fail to
I
understand
started
the
my
importance of
first
such an
fight
ability.
when I was 8. I'm a high. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Life is easy to summarize when your greatest achievement is your tavern debt. It was a local blend, made with juniper berries. After I got past the gag reflex, I knew being a washed-up drunk was my calling in life. True, I don't talk about it very often, but I'd like to run my own tavern one day. I already know a thing or two about brewing, and there are few individuals more qualified for such an occupation. The trouble comes from my status with the Imperials. And the name? Well, I'll figure it out one day. I'm glad you asked. I'm stuck between a few ideas at the moment. The shipwreck, in honor of our prolonged misfortune. The aloof paladin, an ode to our favorite priggish companion. Or the leaky maiden. Well, that's a story for another day. Any preference? I was kind of thinking the same. It's settled then. If I ever get around to opening it, the Dovahkiin drinks for free. How do I put this? Neither of us care. We're just couriers of this operation.
And yet, you still condone these lies? It is a harmless endeavor when conducted properly.
Hello. Yeah, Wait. Can you hear that?
If you're referring to the mental mishaps, that only occurs if the subject struggles.
We should keep moving.
I went through the treatment. Surely you can see I've suffered no such mental toll.
Very well.
Debatable. Still, you waste your breath. We're just the messengers.
Outlanders.
That's it. Well, until my next ill-conceived promise, at least. Thanks for the help. I guess it's just a form of dealing with the past. There's something I'm not proud of buried beneath all the mead and carelessness. Something I could have prevented if I just stood by a simple promise. It was during the war. I was an Imperial Tribune in charge of a small squadron of men. They were the closest thing I had to brothers. One day, Stormcloaks had us pinned between a river and the mountainside. There were a handful of skirmishes. A few people died. Neither side gained any ground. Eventually, orders came down to evacuate the area. Not for my men, just for me. I remember how we sat around the fire before I left, reminiscing about our days in the 11th Training Regiment. That's when Quester Servius pulled me aside and requested something I'll never forget. He asked me not to abandon them to such a doomed fate, to stand beside them until reinforcements arrived. I looked him in the eye and told him I'd be back for them as soon as I was able. That was the last promise I ever broke. Stormcloak raiding party. 2 days after I rode off, they left no survivors. Don't be. Not like you had anything to do with it. That choice, that promise, it was mine. No one else needs share that burden. We've got other things to worry about. I'd like to focus on them instead, if you don't mind. Why are you looking at me like that? Did I do something unpopular again? Oh, right. You had me thinking about that tavern I want to open. I'd like to try serving an exotic selection at it, spearheaded by this island's signature rum. I just need to collect the ingredients I suspect it's comprised of, and I'll be all set to brew a test batch. You? No offense, Dova, but I figured a menial task like this would be below you. You know, since you're like the world's savior and all. In any case, I'm certain you've got more important matters to attend to. You? You know, since you're like the world... In any case, I'm certain you've got more important matters to attend to. Not since I was sweet on a girl from my hometown of Helgen. She used to brew a heavenly juniper berry mead. Got the formula from her brother, as I understand. She was also a bit of a free spirit, so to speak. I haven't seen her in years. The war happened. After I enlisted, the Legion stationed me at Fort Greymore. Distance didn't do our relationship any favors. Sometime before my rotation ended, we stopped writing to each other. I would have gone back home after the dragon attack. It's just... I didn't want to hear that she was a victim. But even if she wasn't, I knew things could never go back to the way they were. I only hope she made it out in time, and that she's happy, wherever she is. Oh, I never have anything on my mind, Dova. Should there be? I could make something up if you'd like. Until next time.
By the 8! Everyone, get low!
Haven't seen one of those since my last skooma trip. Wild times, let me tell you.
We're clear. You see that? There's a dragon all the way out here. You know what this means, right? Exactly! I just need to find a way to track that dragon down, or lure him back this way. Give me a couple of hours and I should have something worked out.